Hello, welcome back to the interface. My name's Alex and this is my full infotainment guide and walkthrough for the 2025 BMW i4. Now in this video we're going to walk through everything you need to know about this main infotainment screen, the driver's display and the BMW app for iPhone. I've also got a full car review of this exact car live now on the channel. There's a link in the top right corner or the description down below to check that out. So first things first, we've got these two big displays, one for the infotainment and one for the driver too. This car has got support for wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. There's a whole host of features which we're going to dive into in this video. And it does work in a surprisingly good way, if not looking slightly dated now. So what you're looking at right now is actually the main home screen. It is split into certain sections. We've got the map view in this section here. And you can see there are these little lines here to indicate there are some widgets. So got the home assistant widget here, the personal assistant, the radio, your phone, the media, destination widget, which direction of travel you're facing, my BMW, so everything is all okay. The weather, where you are right now, as you can see, it is raining. The date and time, and then you can also add some more widgets there. So let's see what widgets you can add. You can add in a Q lock 2, telephone, media clock, weather, battery temperature. So let's look at battery temperature here. So you press and hold. You can drag it in, press confirm. You have to add a second one, so that's fine. Let's add, we'll add the clock in there. Press confirm. So when we do swipe down, we can now see that the temperature of the battery is low. It is about 13 degrees. So it says DC charging, fast DC charging may be currently restricted. You can precondition the battery from there. So along the bottom, we've got these main always on widgets basically. We've got the climate control for the driver's side, the climate for the passenger side, and all the sort of shortcuts for the whole car. What we can do is dive into the climate control, and we can turn that off currently because it's a bit warm, and we'll dive into how the climate control works a bit later. In the top right corner, you've got these little icons up here. So we've got the date and time. Clicking on the time will take you to the time settings. We've got this icon here, which is my profile. So that shows you my BMW ID. Again, we'll look at this stuff a bit later. We've got the microphone, which is for the voice assistant. So let's turn that on. Hey BMW.
Activating encrypt.
So there you go. Got the mute button here, so you can turn on and off the audio if there is anything playing. Got the music icon, which will allow you to switch between different audio sources. We've got this one here, which tells you the signal level of the car itself. So not my phone, but the actual car built-in SIM to give it internet access for things like the My BMW app. Got this one here, which is the traffic information. So it tells you real-time traffic information, RTTI, just tells you anything that's going on. Looks like the M42 is closed. Great. And then this one here is notifications. So there are two currently. It says a map update downloaded on the 3rd of November, and you can find out more in that section there. And then in this section here, you can swipe down on this menu to get access to quick controls, such as turning the screen off. Got the heads-up display, do not disturb. You can hide any private information, notifications, and exterior lighting, and there are some unassigned sort of other shortcuts there. Let's go back to the main screen. You can also get to that section if you swipe down from the top, so it doesn't have to be from that section there. It can be from anywhere from the top. If you swipe in from this side, there are some quick shortcuts, such as navigation, live vehicle, media settings, or media choice, and the weather itself. If you swipe up from the bottom, nothing happens there, and if you swipe in from this side, nothing happens there at all. So along the bottom, as well as the climate stuff on the other side, we've got these few buttons here. So we've got the music one, and that lets you switch the audio source, much like this one up here. This button's interesting, so this takes you to the navigation, but if you press it again, it will then give you the choice of opening Apple CarPlay, which is quite nice, and then it'll give you the navigation option for Apple CarPlay itself, so it's just quite a nice option there. This option here takes you to the climate control setting. You've got the home button. This one takes you to all the apps, which we'll dive through in a bit. Got the phone, which in this instance takes you to Apple CarPlay, and we've got the shortcut there for Apple CarPlay itself if it is running. So if I go back to the main screen, click on CarPlay, that takes you to this page here. All pretty good. It takes a little while to understand how it works. It isn't set up in the most user-friendly way I have found, but in a few days you get used to it very, very quickly, to be fair. So let's go through all the apps by clicking on this option here. You've got the option in here to switch between all apps, just the infotainment ones, just the vehicle settings, and also you've got recently used. We're going to go through all apps and go through everything in one by one section. You will have noticed that there are some CarPlay apps in here too, so it looks like I have seen this in the Porsche as well, actually, that CarPlay apps tend to be front and center in the menu. So BMW tend to have these little shortcuts in here. We're not going to explore all the CarPlay apps. We're just going to go through all the BMW ones instead. So the first one is BMW ID. We looked at this section in this profile section up here. This allows you to do a few things. You can see your email address and your profile picture. What you can do here is manage BMW IDs that are on the car. So at the moment, just my profile is active on the vehicle. I am the main user. I can also delete my user if I want to. And you can sign into the car with a guest profile, which we're not going to do just now. You've got BMW ID status, so you can scan on your phone to log into the BMW app. Press OK. Got nice to know features, so it just gives you a bit of explanation about how it all works. So it says you can log in with your BMW ID in the vehicle to save and synchronize personal settings. After logging in, the vehicle will automatically be added to the BMW app. This enables My BMW app functions to be used for this vehicle. This includes things like remote access, remote charging functions, and that section is the actual app for your phone is quite impressive. It's the same app as you'll find for your Mini, so if you do own a Mini, it's a very similar sort of layout, very similar features, but it's very, very impressive in terms of what BMW have done, to be fair. Got the main user, says the first person who successfully adds the vehicle to the My BMW app is the main user. There can only be one main user per vehicle. The main user has special rights, for example, the right to remove other BMW IDs from the vehicle and to make certain privacy settings. You've also got all BMW IDs, including all permissions, can be removed by resetting the vehicle to factory settings, which you can do from this page here, or you can view the owner's handbook. From here, you can also add a new BMW ID, and you can scan that QR code to do so, and there are some benefits of the BMW ID, which it will play to you. Yeah, we're not going to listen to that now. We'll abort that section. If we go back to this main screen, it just gives you those options there. If we go back again, you can again add a BMW ID, and there are the settings here. So under settings, you've got driver recognition, and that is done with the key. So if you do have more than one key, you can use the key to ID who is driving the vehicle, and you can also set a PIN code whoever's driving the car. Manage profile picture, so you can select a new profile picture. So let's do that from here. Got synchronized BMW ID. It says, would you like to synchronize your personal settings between your vehicle and the BMW cloud? That is turned on. If we click on the I here, it just tells you the things that will get synchronized. So the profile picture, your home address, iDrive settings, personal assistant, climate control, privacy, all that sort of stuff there. Also got name formats. At the moment, it's just my first name, but you can choose to have it your first and last name or surname. And that's about it, really. That's all the stuff for the BMW ID. Next one is the personal assistant. So, hey BMW, what can you do?
Just ask me about it. I am already looking forward to our driving together.
So it seems like it is very similar to what other manufacturers are doing now. We've got easy language, these sort of easy words to understand. What you can do is ask it to do certain things, in such as I'm cold, and it will understand what that means. It's quite intelligent now, and the car voice assistants are getting a lot more feature rich as we do go on, to be fair. There are some example commands in here, such as mute the sound. You can indicate the direction of travel, zoom in, so if you don't want to touch the screen, activate Bluetooth, next track, turn my seat heating off, play DAB. There's a lot of features in here. Take me to a parking space. Yeah, loads and loads of stuff here. There's also questions and answers you can ask it. So, are my brake pads still okay? Hey BMW, are my brake pads still okay?
As soon as the brake pads have worn down, a message is displayed in check control. Please check the displayed list.
So this is a brand new vehicle. It was serviced at 109 miles on the 20th of June. It's done about 800 miles now, so a couple hundred of that is me. Brake fluid is next June, well, quite a few years' time, so it's quite a long window in terms of when you need to service it. You've got needs, so yeah, like tell me a joke, or hey BMW, tell me a joke.
What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick.
Okay. Hey BMW, I am bored.
Sport helps against boredom. Should I activate sport mode?
There we go. No, and there are some other things in here like overview, so you can do doors and windows, you can open windows, but look at this, close all windows but leave a gap, open the rear white window halfway, got displays, what is the time, what day is it, live vehicle. It's very, very good actually. in terms of what you can ask it. A lot more feature-rich than other vehicles, I must say. There are some tips in here for the voice assistant. So it says, I can hear better if there are no other conversations, talk to me naturally. I can understand you best when you look forwards. That would be to do with the microphones in the car. You can also set the activation word, and there are some settings here for that. There's the owner's handbook. So it's very, very in-depth and stuff in terms of what you can ask the car. So it's quite nice that there's a digital owner's handbook on here. There's also BMW Assistance. So it says you can call BMW support, and a call will be placed for requests regarding your vehicle. So we'll go back a page here. Got suggestions, so may I introduce myself, giving me a name. You can also set the suggestions you want to give the voice assistant to. There's habits too, so you can hide private information. Automated window, so if we do hide private information. Private information is hidden if a passenger is in the vehicle. So if it knows once a passenger is in the vehicle, and it will hide private information based on that, which is quite clever. Not really seen that kind of thing before. Automated windows, so it says accept and activate. The window will open when you reach a saved activation point. So imagine if you always go to the same car park for work and you need to press a button to get in, the window will activate by itself once you get to the location. That's quite nice. And then also location-based charging settings. So it says the marked settings will be saved once the charging cable is disconnected. So I'd imagine if you get to a specific location, it will unlock the port or do various things for you, open the port when you get to a specific place. So all quite clever. And then settings down here. So you've got receive suggestions, notification sound, voice output, categories, online speech processing. You can also say the expressive. So that was to do this little blob thing. So you can choose what kind of animation it plays when you've got the voice assistant. You've also got that visualization display location. So it says where do you want it displayed, in the instrument cluster or the heads-up display. You've got response length, standard or short. And that's about it really for the voice assistant. You've got Android Auto, which I haven't got an Android Auto device connected. There's also Apple CarPlay, which we've looked at a bit earlier. It is wireless in the i4. It does perform very, very well. And we've got Connected Drive Store next. So there are some optional extras, software optional extras for this car. This particular test car I've got doesn't come with adaptive cruise control as standard. You do have to pay £750 extra as a software unlock for the lifetime of the vehicle. It does have standard cruise control as standard, but we've got the buttons here for adaptive cruise, but you do have to activate it via software. So it says £750. It says enjoy a more relaxed driving on long journeys and in stop and go traffic. Your BMW supports in accelerating up to the maximum defined speed by the driver and can support in braking with changes in the flow of traffic. So it says service information here. Takes the stress away. It's just adaptive cruise. It says unlimited access for £750. The booking cannot currently be conducted in the vehicle. So at the moment I don't have a credit card added to the car. But there's also a free trial of BMW Drive Recorder. So it says 1 month free trial, unlimited £199. The system detects accident situations and automatically records data around your car. Alternatively, you can activate it manually. Again, that's just like a DVR system for the car. A lot of other vehicles have it for free. And then there is a safety camera information one as well. £25 for 1 year, and that will give you information based on traffic light information and traffic light cameras. Subscribed, so there's map update, which is subscribed until 2032. It's activated, you can update it via USB stick. There's remote software upgrade, unlimited for the vehicle. Tele-services, vehicle check or oil checks, all done. It says it's activated as well. There's a load of options, so we've got Connected Package Professional, which is just digital services for your BMW, not particularly in depth. Just says data volumes, 1 package for navigation, a lot of extras as I said. Remote 3D view, which is you get remote access to the vehicle to view the 3D view of the car. Again, that's unlimited. And then BMW Remote Services, again it says unlimited subscription period, so it's included with the car. Got CarPlay, automate habits. So we looked at this a minute ago, but you can go in here and automate certain things such as automated windows. You can hide private information, and you've got location-based charging settings there. It's kind of built into the personal assistant in a way. BMW Assistance. So you've got accident assistance, roadside assistance. So I'm not going to call those now. Go ahead and call customer support, accident or roadside. BMW Messages. So you've got filter, all message types. There's no messages here. Calendar and CarPlay, car scanner. Got charging next. So the charging mode is immediately. It says vehicle will be charged immediately. What you can do is go in here and set certain schedules. If your tariff is off peak and you want to set a charging schedule for that. So at the moment, what you can do is set a time slot in here. So you set a departure time. You can do a one-off departure time if you've got something like Octopus Agile, which I use, and you don't know what time of day the energy is going to be the cheapest. Ahead of time, you can go in here and set a one-off schedule if you are on that sort of plan. You can also do weekly schedules in here. And the start time, I got departure plan, no time set, and again that's the same kind of thing. AC limit is on 32 amps, and you can set a limit in here if for whatever reason you need to set a specific limit based on the power supply you're using. Got a charging target, so in here you can customize where you want the car to charge to. So if you just want to plug the car in and only charge to 20%, you can do that. And you can do 100% as well. You can click on each one to sort of adjust it there. Got unlock charging cable. So if you have got a charging cable plugged in, how do you want the car to deal with it? So what you can do is have the cable unlocked when the charging ends, or you can unlock the charging socket flap permanently. At the moment, the car will keep it locked when the charging is finished. So I would personally recommend that, because if you're in a certain location, or I've never heard this of happening, but someone might steal your Type 2 to Type 2 charging cable or your 3-pin charging cable. They do cost quite a bit, so I'll just be aware of that. You can have it unlock whenever you want it to though. By all means do that. You've got preconditioned battery, so you can set it to activate automatically or activate once, and you can also receive suggestions. It says a one-off preparation will take 35 minutes to get the battery up to temp for faster charging. The i4 also supports plug and charge, so the Kia and Genesis vehicles and Hyundai cars also support this. It's a certificate-based system for charging at certain chargers like Ionity. So if you think how a Tesla works, you just plug it in and it knows exactly who you are and who to charge, and it will give you all that information quite easily. This is the same kind of idea for other EVs. So over time we will see this roll out a bit more, but you can activate this on the i4. Fan loudness is unrestricted, automatic or restricted. So it says charging duration may depend on time of day, because it will restrict having the fans running when it's charging, as to not disturb people. And if it is out of hours, it will obviously not charge as quickly to not spill the fans up. There are some location-based charging settings. So you've got settings for charging locations. What used will be saved and applied automatically for all vehicle users. So if you're happy with having the charging cable disconnect at work, for example, it will then disconnect for you. Next one is climate control. So at the moment everything is turned off. If we turn on the climate control now, so you've got the option here. There aren't any physical buttons for the climate control on the i4. Everything is done via software, which is a bit of a pain, but it does work in a relatively good way. You'll see that there is always a shortcut here to get to the climate control, which is good. This view is the manual mode for the fan speed. Got 1, 2, 5. If we go back here, you've got the option to disable the windscreen function, the feet for the driver, the seat, the face for the driver. It looks like you always have to have something on by default. This option here gives you sort of a more automatic view. So you've got very low, low, medium, high, or very high. Turn that down. It says fan cannot be activated in automatic program. So once we go back to off auto, you can turn off the fan itself. Got the sync between the two sides of the vehicle. Got max AC. You can choose exactly where the temperature is going to go, or the fans are going to go. Got heated seat controls down here too, so this is always visible. Same on the driver's side as well. There are some individual settings. So for the particular driver, you've got the temperature adjustment upper bodies. You can choose exactly where on the seat the temperature is going to go. On the seat heating there, you've got the front passenger and the second row seats. So there are some heated seats in the back too. There is also a physical climate control section, like a little screen in the back, and you can choose to lock that completely, or you can have the rear climate control turned off as well. Quite nice options in there. And there are some preconditioning options in here, so you can start the battery preconditioning manually from right now, or you can set a departure plan like we saw a bit earlier. Go back to the main screen. Next is country information. So it says loading this app. What this will do is if you are traveling through Europe, it will pop up with the information based on the country where you're in, and you can view the current information about the UK. So you've got the 30-mile-an-hour speed zones in the city. Outside of the city is 60, and then motorway and dual carriageway. You can also choose the country here. So if you click on Turkey, it tells you that information there. We'll look at that one as well. Ukraine, 30, 55, 65. Look at Sweden. So it gives you a load of information here about certain countries, and it is pretty good, to be fair. Ireland as well, 30, 45, 60 and 70. There are some speed limit settings in here. So you've got the vehicle speed limit in different locations. If we go back to the actual UK now. Yeah, speed limits with a vehicle is that one, and speed limit with a trailer. So it gives you information about what you should be doing with the trailer, which is very useful actually. Traffic rules, so it says left on traffic, daytime driving lights, no. Toll, vignette, low emission zones, yes. Telephone numbers, and general information tells you all that information there as well. And actually the voltage. Displays, so we've got 3 displays technically. We've got the heads-up display, the driver's display, and the display for the infotainment screen. Got the heads-up display settings, so you can turn that on. You can adjust the height, the rotation, the brightness, and also show driver mode content automatically. Display location for messages is the heads-up display, and you've got the distance information and the speed assistant, which will give you some information about that. It says adjust speed limit automatically, and you can set a sort of an offset for that too. Adjust speed limits and second adjustment to 40 mile an hour, and it'll give you a warning when you've gone over the speed limit, an acoustic warning. Let's turn that off. But it says for legal reasons, function will be reactivated upon next start. We go down here now. We've got the instrument cluster, so you can configure content. So it says route preview, G meter, media, and radio. It says display location for list of messages, again instrument or the heads-up display. Converted speed, so you can have it converted from mph to kilometers per hour. Got the speed assistant as well, same sort of deal here. Got the time period for journey data, so you can choose to cycle through either individual, which is when you reset things, since journey start, since last charge, and since factory. There is also a BC button on the stalk here to cycle through those different modes, and then also route guidance in here. So what you can do is have augmented view overlays on the instrument cluster or the control display, or just completely off. It gives you some good information about where to turn. Seems to be only when you use the built-in sat nav, to be fair, but it does work quite well. And then 3D junction view in instrument cluster, and that would be like giving you an overview of where exactly you need to turn into a specific junction. Got the volume for the spoken instructions. Volume reduction is on medium. Spoken instruction length is automatic, and additional information is turned on. No real information about what that is actually doing though. And then the control display, so you can turn it off. You can set the brightness at night time and the system settings. So you've got the options in here for date and time. So your automatic time setting is turned on. Time format is 24 or 12 hours. They've got the date, which is the 10th of November. That is right, and the time is also correct. Date format is day, month, year, and then English is the language. And there are some other languages here. Let's just scroll for all of those. There we go. Long press on the mic button is for Siri, and then you can press it in once. We'll give you the BMW Assistant, or the Google Assistant actually. Got time period for journey data, so since individual, and you can reset that completely. And then you've got units, so you've got the option for the efficiency, which is in miles per kilowatt hour. Very good. I don't see this very often. It's very good that you can customize this efficiency section, because a lot of cars don't really come in the correct setting for efficiency, or one that actually people seem to understand. So if you do understand the other ones in there, so kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, you can set that in there. Miles per kilowatt hour too. Distance is in miles or kilometers. Power is in horsepower or kilowatt. Torque is in newton meters or pound foot. Pressure is in psi, kPa or bar. And then you can set the temperature, which is in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Got the sound settings here. So you've got the audio, so treble, bass, balance, and the fader. The fader just lets you choose between left and right. Got volume settings. So you've got the speed volume. So this will adjust the speed based on how fast the vehicle is moving. Got navigation, so you can choose how loud you want the navigation voice to be. Volume reduction is on high, medium, or low. And then the relative to active audio source. So it says acoustic signal when approaching obstacles, park distance control. So you can turn that down. The gong. And then we go back. We've got reset settings, so you can reset all the sound settings to default if you want to. And then you've got audio confirmation on the touchscreen, touchpad, and the welcome sounds. Got the touchpad settings, so down here we've got the iDrive wheel, which, to be fair, I'm just using the touchscreen at the moment for controlling this for this guide, but I can also use the iDrive wheel at the bottom, which is quite a nice system. So you can click it to the left, click it to the right, and you can scroll through the entire system, which I might do for the rest of the video actually. Got the touchpad settings, you've got character input, which you can draw on the top, got map and audio confirmation, pop-ups. So when you go down here, you've got the driving experience control, mobile devices, connection type changed, climate control, extended charging time, charging target, one-off departure time, personal eSIM save PIN, so those are the pop-ups you can get for the car. Notifications, so it says what notifications and suggestions would you like to receive. So you've got the option between location-based charging settings, missed calls, new messages, BMW messages, unlock charging cable. Also notifications at the end of the journey, so we've got preconditioning and valet parking mode, and also suggestions, so we've got all of these different options in here that will pop up for notifications. Getting started, so this is like a sort of a checklist about what to do. I've added my BMW ID, the car is added to the app, mobile devices are connected, got some settings in here for the data privacy, got personal assistant, and then also you've got complete getting started, and you've got the option to go back here on the button. Remote software upgrade, BMW operating system, it said 8.5, and we'll search for upgrades. Last time it was updated was this month. So it says the search will be continued during the drive, which will go back a page here. You've got valet parking mode, so you can set a PIN, and that will protect your personal information and settings and stuff. So if you don't want people to access what you've got on your car, you can obviously do that. You've got do not disturb, which is quite nice, and also hide private information. Got data privacy options. So you can go ahead and set what level of privacy you want on the vehicle. So you've got all services, including analysis, all services, initially activated services, and some other options in there. There's some information in there about data transfer. I'm not going to read that. And more information here. This is okay. We'll go back a page. You can also reset vehicle data back to factory settings, which I'm not going to do. And then update apps and services. You can search for updates, which was done a few days ago. We're going to do that again. No updates there. Go back a page now. So go to doors and windows. So you can choose what happens when the doors get unlocked and locked. So when you unlock the doors, do you want all the doors to unlock or just the driver's door itself? You can play a sound when the doors are locked and unlocked. That's usually the horn, which is a bit loud. You can flash when locking, flash when unlocking, fold mirrors on lock and unlock. Unlock doors at the end of the journey. Unlock doors when you've put the car into P. Lock after a short time. So if you do unlock the doors remotely or outside the vehicle, if you don't open the doors for any period of time, it will just lock itself again. Turn off after opening door. So when you open the door, all the infotainment screens and displays will be turned off when you open the door. You've got vehicle key. So the hash button on the key, which is this one here. So there's a little diamond on the bottom of the key there. You can choose what happens with that. So you can precondition when you press that back button, or you can set the home lights. And then if you go down to lower window, double pressing the unlock button will open the windows ever so slightly. So that's quite nice there. What I might do is set that on home lights. That's quite nice. You've got the tailgate settings in here, so you can set the opening height when the door does open. So when you click on that one, you can set the height there, and it'll give you a preview of what is actually happening. And then you've got the owner's handbook here, and then the key button assignments. So again, same sort of thing we just looked at. And then automated windows, which we looked at a bit earlier, but you can go in here and set some activation points when the doors will open, or the windows will open for you. Next is driving settings. So we've got three main settings in here: driver assistance, drivetrain and chassis, and the charging settings. So under driver assistance, it's got all the safety stuff essentially. So safety and warnings, you can reset everything to recommended settings, which is now done. Got front collision warning is early, medium, late or off. So it says here, warning with braking intervention when risk of frontal collision is detected. That's medium, late, off or early. Lane departure warning is reduced. So you can set it on medium, early or off completely. And then there's a steering intervention option in there too. Lane change warning. So if you are turning into oncoming traffic, it will be early, medium, late or off completely. Attentiveness assistant is standard, sensitive or off, and that basically is going to check for any signs of fatigue for the driver, and it will give you a choice of place to stop and have a break. Speed warning is above 70 mph, or you can have it adopt the current speed. So in warning for speed limits, you've got a few things. You can have adjust speed limits manually, or anticipation, or the show current limit. So with anticipation, it actually will give you what the next speed limit is going to be. So you've got a rough idea of what's going to happen there. You can adjust speed limits, so you can offset the speed limit there. You can go down to second adjustment up to 40 miles an hour, adjust speed limits. Speed limit exceeded, warning when speeding. You can have that on or off. Again, we looked at this kind of thing a little bit earlier, but there is a bit more information in here. And then we go back a page. We've got the parking and maneuvering. So you've got the sound if parking space is detected when the parking view is active. Got cross traffic warning. Well, that's basically when a car is coming up behind you, will it give you a warning? You've also got park distance control, or PDC, and that will automatically show you the parking view when approaching an obstacle, so you're not going to bump into it. PDC signal volume, so that's the volume of that tone. And then active PDC emergency braking, that's turned off at the moment, and that will give you a sort of a warning when you might get too close to something. And then panorama view is on GPS based. Camera picture, you've got the guidance lines, obstacle marking as well, so it'll give you a rough idea of where stuff is. Driving settings, so you've got speed assistant in here, which we looked at a bit earlier. And then feedback via steering wheel is high for vibration, and that can be turned off, or low or medium or high. Next is drivetrain and chassis. So energy recovery in D is adaptive, high, moderate or low. I've been driving the car in B, it's been absolutely fine. And you've got sport individual settings, so you've got the steering on sport, comfort or sport then there. And drivetrain is for sport as well, so it'll give you more power. And you can reset to sport standard. Go back a page. Eco Pro individual, so you can go in here and set everything if you want to. Got Eco Pro seat heating, Eco Pro climate control, sight, comfort for steering, and you can reset that back to factory. And then lastly is charging in this section, which we looked at a bit earlier. Exterior lighting, so you've got rear daytime driving lights is turned on. You can customize the indicator, so if there's just one blip when you've got the indicator on, or just three. You can set the side of the traffic you're going to drive on, so left or right. Welcome and goodbye sounds for the interior or the exterior. Home lights, you can choose how long the light should stay on for. You've got very customizable here. You've got like 3 or 4 minutes up to 10 seconds. We're going to set that onto a minute. More CarPlay stuff here. Got interior lighting. So you've got ambient lighting turned on and off. You can choose the brightness for that. So let's choose that. And actually you can see just below the screen here, I've got the brightness you can see. And you can go in here and choose the colour, so there's quite a few options in here. Then you can do dynamic light, which will do certain light effects, and you've got reduce for night driving, which is will just dim it when it is a bit too dark outside. Got live vehicle, so just gives you the status of what the vehicle's doing. We did look at this briefly from the main home screen, but the tyre pressure monitoring system is active. Tells you about the battery, so at the moment is low for DC charging. Got check control, no entries and service, and there is some data in here for the journey. So it tells you the trip computer and the adaptive content that you want. Got messages, which should take you just to Apple CarPlay. Yep, takes you directly to Apple CarPlay there. Go back to the main screen. Got messages in CarPlay, got mobile device management here. So you can add, what you can do here is you can activate an eSIM. So you can take out a second SIM for your phone and then activate this within the car to give it some internet access if you want to. We've got the device management, so I've got my phone here. It is CarPlay connected currently. I've got the signal level and my battery level. Got telephone, Bluetooth audio, Wi-Fi connection. You can disconnect and delete that device in there. Got recent calls, it tells you who's called if it is Bluetooth connected. And there are some more options in here like dial a number, messages, or go to CarPlay directly. Navigations, this is the built-in sat-nav. Not a bad system actually. So you've got the iDrive wheel for zooming in and out. A little bit dated to be honest, but it does get the job done. I like how they've put the moon over that side. So if I click on the moon, it doesn't take you there, unfortunately. So that's quite nice for zooming in and out with the iDrive wheel. What we're going to do now is see if it will get us directions to somewhere. So let's type in Aberdeen. So what I'm going to do is draw on the wheel, or you can just use this keyboard here. So let's go back a page and we'll type in, or draw. The main problem with this is because I'm right-handed, and this is a a German car designed for people driving with the left hand side. I'm not that used to driving or typing in with my left hand, so it's a bit tricky there. So I've typed in the address now. We've got start route guidance. So what I want to see is that if this vehicle is going to plan.
Directional info on the display. When leaving, please turn right.
It does. So that's a 9-hour journey, essentially 444 miles, with 4 charging stops, 3 of which are basically 10 minutes and 1 is half an hour. I think on a journey of that length, I think that is perfectly acceptable. That one there is the same, got 3 stops at around 20 minutes each. That one's a bit longer, but that one's not bad, to be fair. I think after a 10-hour journey, I think you would want to stop for that amount of time. In my experience, I've done this kind of journey before. You end up stopping for way longer than you thought you would ever do. So it's not a problem at all. It's quite nice that they've added these options in here. It tells you in here how long you need to stop at each one. Got route criteria in here. So what you can do is set the charging route. You've got route criteria, so you can say, yeah, I want to use motorways, yeah, I want to use toll roads, yeah, use ferries. Service areas en route, only with charging stations, that's quite handy. And you can see the route here. And it's giving me some information on the left hand side about the traffic on the route. If I go down to this button here, got some options in here for the route itself. That's the destination. If we cancel that route now, so that's pretty good. Let's look at the points of interest. Let's type in food and use the voice.
Where would you like to go to? Tell me the name of the desired address or a point of interest.
Fast food.
I have found multiple destinations in the category fast food. Which one should I select?
So it's found me some pretty okay places. It's found some different locations I could go to. Let's go back a page here. That's pretty good. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with the charging route planning. It seemed to work quite well. Let's try one more. BMW Welt, Munich. So this is always a very good test to see if a car can actually do this properly. It's found the location, especially with the charging stops required. Wow, not many at all. So I haven't got the massive amount of range in the car at the moment. I've got 59%. And this isn't a massive battery car either, but look at that. It's a 17-hour journey and you only stop for 6 stops. That's a very long journey, and that's not something you do in one go because you would sleep. So one of the things I want to know is that can you choose the preferred charging networks that you want to use for the route guidance? So I'm going to click on the charging icon here and then click on this filter. I want to go down to preferred operators. Yes, so I'm going to scan this QR code. And in here, I'm going to type in Tesla. There we go. Tesla supercharger. So that's saved. So let's go back a page now. Yeah, it's now chosen the Tesla supercharger networks now. So let's go back and do another route to Munich. So
what is our destination?
BMW Welt, Munich. That's very good.
I have.
There we go. Let's see if it takes into consideration what I've asked it to do.
All right, please follow the directional info on the display. When leaving, please turn left.
So it's now calculating what I need to do. So it hasn't calculated the charging stops on this blue one, but it has on this one. So it's saying max 150 kilowatt, max 350 on that one, max 250, max 250, max 250 on that one. So let's click on this one, charging station overview. Yeah, so for the most part, it has selected Tesla chargers. This one, where I am now, that one is over Uxbridge Way. That's fine. So you're there for half an hour. It's suggested Ionity in France. I guess there wasn't anything else for it to choose. You're there for 27 minutes. That one's 22 minutes, another Tesla charger. That one's another 20 minutes. But by this time, you're a lot of hours deep into this journey. So if you set off at 3:30, you'll get to Uxbridge. Basically 10 hours in, and you're at your third stop or fourth stop. So first stop, second stop, third stop, fourth stop, fifth stop in 10 hours, or 12 hours nearly. So that's quite impressive, and that one is half an hour there as well. And for this length of journey, again, you would want to stop. So I'm quite impressed that you can actually pick the charging networks you want to use. So that's very good, really. Next is news. So this gives you some information about the news events going on. So there's some current stories here, and you've got categories. So you can set the categories you want to listen to, or watch, or read. So you've got some UK news here. There we go. And categories, you've got UK, and you can go down here and select panorama, football, business news. That's what BMW drivers do. Yep, some stuff in there. Cool, that's fine. Got owner's handbook. So this is a very interactive manual for viewing all the stuff on the car. Got keyword search, so you can type in and look at stuff here. So you've got G meter, accelerator, pedal positions, all that sort of stuff. That's quite nice. You've got topics. You can scroll through and have a look at all the settings in the car and how to use everything. You've got quick reference, opening, closing doors. It's all the instructions basically for the car. It's quite handy. Personal hotspot. So again, you'd have to connect the eSIM to the vehicle. You can connect to the hotspot on the vehicle. So I'd say connect to hotspot. You've got the Wi-Fi name and password there for sharing the internet connection from the vehicle itself, and there is some settings in here, so you can turn it on and off and set the password if you want to, and you can activate the internet access too, which has not been done. You have to use an eSIM to do that. Next is radio. So you've got all the stations in here that are DAB, all the local ones and all the sort of regional ones as well. There is some FM stations in here as well, so you've got the option to choose between Spotify, radio and Apple CarPlay. You've got save stations and then also received, and over on this side got remove station from favorites, manual frequency select, so in terms of FM megahertz. You've got more on track from Spotify, and then you've got sound settings in here too. So you've got the settings we looked at a bit earlier, to be fair. But yeah, it seems to be just DAB and FM. Doesn't look that obvious if there's any FM stuff here. Let's look at the audio source and then media radio settings. So radio information here, that will show on the screen. Got media full screen, personalized menu, so you can choose what you want in there, and also the sound settings too. Ringo, Shell, these are my apps here. Spotify. So Spotify will need you to log in to an app, which you can do if you've got this car, and then you can use Spotify natively on the car. System settings, which we looked at a bit earlier. So that's all the stuff we looked at earlier. Telephone, which just takes you to Apple CarPlay. Let me go back here. Vehicle status. Got the status, which we looked at a bit earlier. Weather. So this just tells you the weather, where you are right now. You can go ahead and look at each day. You can change locations. You can read it out and add to favorites. WhatsApp, and then your service partner, which will you can call roadside assistance if you need to search for a service partner. So let's have a look here. So it tells you there's some BMW dealers in the vicinity. So that's been a look at the main display for the BMW i4. A lot of the settings do seem to be repeated in certain areas, so it does take a long time to go through everything. The main thing I'm quite impressed with is the navigation system in terms of planning your charging stops. Very, very seamless. I've seen a very similar thing on the Mini Cooper actually, but now we're going to look at the driver's display and the app for your phone. So the driver's display on the BMW i4 is actually quite impressive actually. Got a lot of customization, and there's a lot of data that can be displayed here. So on the very bottom of the screen, you've got the battery percentage there, got the time, you've got the total mileage, got the temperature on the right hand side, and then if I pan this over here, you've got the range too. In the central section, you can choose whatever you want. So you click this button here, you can choose to have nothing displayed, just the I logo. If you scroll down, you can have your trip data, which you can cycle through using the button on the stalk. A little bit slow. There we go. Click it again. If we go click that button again and then go down, we've got the route preview stuff. We've got the map, so that gives you some information about where you are. You've got the G meter, which is quite funny, and then you've also got the meter that's being played. And then what you can do is click an arrow, and it will switch to the what's on the heads-up display instead. Let's see if I can make this appear on camera. So there we go, we've got the heads-up display there. So let's click on this steering wheel button and we can cycle through what we see there. So that now is the reduced view. We've got the efficient view, which that little diamond will fill up with a bar when you're going a bit faster. We've got the sport view, directional view, standard view, and that's about it really. So this is the My BMW app for iPhone. It's got some nice options, to be fair. Now, on the very top of the screen, it shows you a few things. It shows you the model of your car at the very top. It shows you that everything is all good. It will obviously change based on if something isn't all good. Got a picture of the car, so this is the correct colour and correct specification, the correct calipers, the correct alloys, everything about it is as it should be. Obviously the wheel's on the wrong side, the steering wheel. You click on this and it will take you to the vehicle status, so you can see at the moment the car is actually unlocked. Got remote software upgrades, there are none available. Tyre condition, to the pressure on the tyres, and when your next service is due, so it tells you everything is all good. Again, we looked at this stuff in the main screen, but it's nice to see it on the app itself. Got the mileage, that's the odometer mileage. Down here we've got the state of charge, it's on 59% with 133 miles of range. This particular one has got the 67 kilowatt hour battery pack because it is the eDrive 35, so it gives you some idea of how much range you will actually have. More on the driving range and efficiency in my main review, which is linked in the description down below. I've got some quick controls here. You can lock all the doors. It says vehicle is in use, so it won't actually do that because I've got the car on. You can unlock the doors, you can flash the lights. Again, it won't do it because it is on. And you can also set the climate control. Got the remote camera, which is remote 3D. So in this section, what you do have to do is set the data privacy to activate. So let's do that now. Yes, that is now activated. Go back to the remote camera. There we go. Confirm. So it's waking up my vehicle. It might not work because I've got the car turned on currently. It takes photos, okay. So there's no camera inside the car that I can see, like the i5, but there are some cameras on the outside, so you can get a good view of what's going on around your car. So it just takes a photo of what's happening. So it's a bit blurry, but it's because of the rain, but it gives you a good idea of what's happening with the car. There's no one around it. It's all good. Pretty cool. So I can see that being quite useful actually. They've got battery preconditioning, you can turn that on or off. Got the vehicle finder, which is on this map view down here, so you can send destinations to the car remotely. You can see where the car is in relation to where you are. Got some trips in this section here, which you have to use. Your phone will record the trips for you, which is a bit odd. So I just tend to have that off. Got charging information, so you've got charge and climate settings. Very similar, if not identical to what we looked at in the actual main display. Vehicle control center, so you've got vehicle information, got the model, got the number plate which you can add if you want to, the VIN number and the mileage. Upgrades from the connected drive store, and then also vehicle configuration. Loads of settings in here. So you've got user management, so I'm the main user. Got software update settings, download automatically or download via Wi-Fi. They're about 1 gig in size. More privacy settings here. Map and mobility. So yeah, this is where you go, as we saw a bit earlier, to customize what charging networks you want to use. You've got route settings here, avoid motorways, avoid toll roads, all pretty cool. Calendar events, so you can sync that between your phone and the car, nice and handy there. Search history, learning navigation, and then contact search too. Down this section is the news and the community for the BMW sort of group really. So there are some users in here all across the world posting their stuff. It's quite handy. And then you've got the connected services store, which you can buy subscriptions for. And then this section here is your profile, so I can go in here and look at my profile data if I want to. You can add a phone number. Your profile is 56% complete. Email address and phone number and addresses there. Got the app themes. So at the moment I've got the Aurora or the Northern Lights. But there are some other options in here such as powerful, luxurious. That one. There's also Neue Klasse, which is their new design language. Got BMW Assistant and all various bits and pieces like the personal eSIM, which you can activate too. So that's been a look at the infotainment system, the driver's display, and the My BMW app for iPhone. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe to the channel. My name's Alex, and I'll see you again next time.